Welcome back to the Healthy Beginnings blog, to the Fit and Fresh Family Kitchen. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Well, school is in full swing, and one of the biggest challenges that parents face in the school year is packing the school lunch. And instead of really thinking about packing the good old ham and cheese with a bag of chips and an apple, I have here today some different options in creating a healthy school lunch for your child. And so hopefully we're teaching them how to eat healthy and they can carry that with them for the rest of their lives. There are about 3 key elements that I feel like really go into keeping your child's school lunch healthy. When you're packing their lunch, pre-planning and pre-packing is the first key element. I would say is one of the most important. This is just a regular good old lunchbox. Everybody's lunchbox is different, so I'm really not going to recommend one particular one. Containers, of course you want to make sure you've got some containers. I prefer containers that are portion sized and kind of sectioned off for children. And then of course, you've got your little thermal containers for soups or salads or pasta salads, grain salads. But I would say that one of the most important key elements in pre-planning and pre-packing would be your ice packs. Ice packs are extremely important to have on hand, and I would recommend having lots of them because it will keep your child's lunch cool until they can get to their lunch break and prevent any kind of bacterial growth. The second key element to packing and keeping a child's lunch healthy and quick and easy is really thinking about balance. And balance, when I say balance, I mean making sure we're including all the major 5 food groups. And I'm just going to start with the vegetable group. The vegetable group is the toughest sell for most kids. And so here I have some fresh vegetables. But this is just something a little different that you can look for in the stores. This is edamame, and you can pop this out of their freezer the night before, put it in their lunchbox in the refrigerator, and then by the time they get to school, they can tear this open and eat it right out of the bag. And it's fresh, frozen, it's been de-thawed edamame, a great protein source and vegetable source. Here I've got just some cherry tomatoes, instead of maybe slicing a tomato, looking for just some small cherry tomatoes that are easy for them to pick up and hold, dip, and pop in their mouth. Mixing vegetables, thinking of different colors is really key because when we're adding different color, we're adding lots of different nutrients. So, mixing some broccoli with some carrots or some bell peppers and slicing and dicing those and adding maybe a dip to help them eat their vegetables. And then if you don't have a lot of fresh vegetables on hand, I'm a big fan of the frozen vegetables. This is just a Cascadian Farms frozen bag. You can tell I've used it already, that it is really quick and easy to cook the night before and pop in a little container, and you've got some good little diverse vegetables. This is peas, carrots, and corn, and they're perfect for little finger bites. The next food group, of course, would be the fruit group. Fruit, instead of thinking about a regular apple, apples are great. They're very nutritious, great fiber source, but how many parents will see this apple come back in the lunchbox? One thing you can do is maybe slice it up and put it in a plastic baggie and maybe sprinkle a little cinnamon over it. So it's a little treat for them, and they'll hopefully be more willing to eat that apple. Bananas are always great. Here I've got just some little grape kebabs, and I just took a couple little toothpicks and I just kind of kebabbed these grapes on there, and that's just fun. Presentation, a little different. We've got some melon, all of your melons are great, your watermelon, your cantaloupes, your honeydews, your berries. Really, fruits in general are just great. So I would highly recommend adding lots of different types of fruits into their lunchbox. Another thing I'm really loving are these Go-Go Squeezables. These are everywhere in the stores. You should be able to find lots of different brands. This is just a regular applesauce, so your child can just screw the top off and squeeze it in their mouth. Quick, easy, and fun. If you don't have a lot of fresh fruit on hand, dried fruit, freeze-dried fruit are all just fine. These are really great to add in little plastic baggies or containers if you don't have a lot of fresh fruit on hand. The third group would be your protein and your meat group. Of course, we've got our lunch meats, our ham and turkey that we're all familiar with, our roast beef that we're all familiar with. Some ideas that you could do would be, to make it a little different, would be some egg salads, some ham salads, tuna salad is great, turkey, diced pieces of turkey, but I also have some tofu here, which is another source of protein, a soy source of protein. You can just kind of play around with this at home, see if your child likes it, add some different sauces to it, but it's a little tofu salad, great protein source. Here I've got our peanut butter, which is always a good old standby, and almond butter, cashew butter. Really, all the nut butters are great to spread on a sandwich with a little whole fruit jelly or jam, honey, and you're good to go. However, a lot of schools nowadays are nut-free. So if you do have a nut-free school that your child goes to, sun butter is another option that would be a very safe option, in that it's not a nut, and you could spread that easily on a sandwich. It's a little different of a taste, but it still is a great alternative. Hummus is also another great alternative. Here I've got some beet and cannelli bean hummus, and you can spread this on a sandwich, or you can use it as a dip. And it's also sneaking in a vegetable and a good protein. So you've got your beets, which is high in vitamin A, vitamin C, iron, some B vitamins. So you're being a little sneaky there. Your fourth group, of course, would be your dairy group. We want to make sure that our children are getting lots of dairy throughout the day, at least 3 servings a day. Here I've got some string cheese, which is always great, quick, easy. Some little yogurt squirts. These are really fun to throw in the freezer and pop them out in the morning and just kind of let them slowly thaw throughout the day. And by lunchtime, hopefully it'll be a nice little kind of pre-frozen, semi-frozen treat for your child. And then we've got just, of course, regular little yogurt containers. Cottage cheese is also another great dairy source for your child. Some kids like cottage cheese, some kids don't, but you could add peaches or some pears to your cottage cheese, or some berries to cottage cheese. That, again, would give them another great dairy source along with fruit. And then your fifth food group would be your bread, your grains. And so what I'm really loving right now is by Pepperidge Farm, the goldfish sandwich breads. And when I'm thinking about breads and grains and pastas, I always try to emphasize making sure that it's 100% whole grain. So that's a key word to really look for on the back. When you look under ingredients, look for 100% whole grain. Pasta, 100% whole grain pasta is great. You can make this the night or the day before. You can add some diced vegetables to this. You could add beans to this to add some protein, diced meat to add protein, and then toss it in any kind of vinaigrette or dressing that your child really likes, and you're good to go. You've got a great pasta salad for the next day. Popcorn. Popcorn is a great whole grain. A lot of people don't realize that popcorn is a whole grain, but it is. So pop some popcorn the night before, pop it in a little baggie, you are good to go. Flat outs, I love these. These are great to roll any sandwich that your child likes. You can do a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with this. You can do a hummus with some fresh vegetables and wrap it up and dice it up. It looks like little pinwheels. Really, you can be really creative with this. You could do a turkey bacon BLT and roll it up. So you can be as creative as you want to be with this. And kids really love wraps and rolls. This is another great whole grain. This is called quinoa. Quinoa is a whole grain, but it's also a complete protein. And you can make really a lot of fun salads out of this, a whole grain salad. So you can do this the night or the day before. Again, dice up your favorite vegetables that your child likes. Add beans to it. You can add, some meat to it if you want to, but you don't have to because it's a complete protein. Then I also have some macaroni and cheese, but this is a whole wheat macaroni and cheese. So again, emphasizing whole wheat, whole grain, instead of the good old white macaroni and cheese. The third key element that I would say for your child in keeping your child engaged and eating healthy and eating their healthy lunch would be keeping it fun. Kids love to have fun, and they're very visual. So I have a couple of things here. This is just a little melon ball utensil. You can find these pretty much anywhere, but if you have one at home, you know, just taking this and with your melons, your cantaloupes, your honeydew, your watermelon, you know, just balling it out, super easy, and it's fun. You know, they make these fun little melon balls. So the presentation is just a little different than just something diced or cubed. Another idea is any kind of cookie cutter you have at home. This is just a couple of cookie cutters that I have at home. This is a dinosaur, this is a star, and so, you know, the sandwich that your child really likes, fun dinosaur sandwich. You know, you can spread a little hummus on this, you can spread peanut butter and jelly on this, you can spread egg salad, tuna salad, ham salad, whatever your child likes. Again, star, so fun, keeping your child engaged. And of course, dips. Dips are always a big fun thing for kids, and so, you know, they can take their little vegetables that you've packed for them and have lots of fun with their dip. But again, this beet and cannelli bean dip, you can do all kinds of dips. I love hummus dips. You could do an edamame dip, you could do this beet and cannelli bean dip, you could do a carrot hummus dip, whatever kind of hummus your child likes, you can kind of play around with it. Cream cheeses are great bases also to start making dips with, so you can kind of play around, see what your child likes, but dips are a lot of fun for kids. If your child likes to get notes, which most kids do, this is just an idea you can write on your banana or your child's banana. If you have a banana that you've thrown in their lunch, just get a black marker and write, "I love you, Mommy." Or whatever you want to write. It's a really fun way to send your child a message to have a great day and that you're thinking of them. And then if your child really loves that crunch factor, here are a couple of options. I would always recommend when we're thinking about chips, baked chips over regular chips. These are just some veggie sticks. My child loves these, and there's not really a lot of vegetables in this, but there's about 50% less fat than regular potato chips. So it is a nice option or alternative to a regular potato chip. And then here are some baked Cheetos. A lot of kids love Cheetos, but these are not the regular Cheetos. These are baked. So again, we're dropping the fat, but still a lot of great flavor, and they look just like Cheetos. So they might not even know the difference. And then for a little tasty treat, dessert, or they can keep it for a snack later on, here I just have a couple of options. This is just a cinnamon cereal, but it's a whole grain cinnamon cereal, and I just added a few little marshmallows just to make it fun. But the cereal is whole grain, so you're giving that little whole grain punch along with some vitamins and minerals with this cereal. So instead of doing a cookie, trying some cereal and playing around with some little cereal trail mix, sweet cereal trail mix. This is another option that you could try. This is kind of a berry granola base, and I just added some extra dried fruit to it. This is delicious. It's great for the morning, but it's also a great little dessert, but it's also a great snack. So it's just a nice little crunchy sweet treat to end their healthy lunch. So I hope that this has helped, and I hope that this has given you lots of options. Oh, one more thing before we end. When we're thinking about what to pack our child to drink, I would highly recommend milk, water, and if you're going to do juice, I would recommend 100% fruit juice. That's a key word again to look for, is 100% fruit juice. So I hope this has helped. I hope this gives you some options to try and to think about when packing your child's school lunch. And please stay tuned. There's much more to come. And thank you again for stopping by today. Have a great and healthy day.